Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're diving into the most powerful tool you will ever own, your brain. We're going to break down how you can stop replaying the past and actually start being the architect of your own future, starting right now.
You know that feeling, right? Like you're caught in some kind of loop. You set these amazing new goals, you've got all these ambitions, but you keep finding yourself in the exact same old situations, with the same old habits. Well, it turns out there's a very specific and kind of fascinating reason our minds do this.
So, to really get it, we need to look at the brain's two fundamental operating systems. You can think of them as two completely different minds that are pretty much always in a tug-of-war for who's in control of your actions.
Okay, so on one side you have your conscious mind. This is your creative side, your right brain. It's where you dream, you plan for the future, and you make new deliberate decisions. But then, on the other side, you've got the subconscious. And this thing, it's like a giant hard drive storing every single past experience and habit you've ever had. It doesn't create anything new, it just runs old programs. And here's the real kicker, it controls about 90% of what we do every single day.
So, if the subconscious is running the show 90% of the time, well, that means most of our lives are basically spent on autopilot, just guided by old programming. But believe it or not, it gets even more extreme than that.
Because, most of us were never really taught how to consciously direct our own thinking, so we just default to the only information our brain already has on file, the past. And the result of this is, well, it's pretty staggering.
Yep, 95%. Some studies suggest that a whopping 95% of the time, our thoughts are coming directly from our past programming. Just think about that. That leaves this tiny 5% window where we're actually using our conscious mind to create something new.
And this huge imbalance, this is the very definition of self-sabotage. It's why we put things off, why we repeat the same patterns we swear we want to break, and why we hold ourselves back from the future we say we really want to build. So the big question is, how do we take back control?
Well, it all starts by understanding the part of the brain that's basically the gatekeeper for all of our thoughts.
So let me introduce you to the prefrontal cortex. It sits right there at the very front of your head, and it works just like a transmitter. Every single thought you have, whether it's coming from your past-focused subconscious or your future-focused conscious mind, it has to pass through here. This is the control center that decides what gets broadcast into your reality. And what this really means is that you have a choice. You can feed this control center two very, very different kinds of information. Let's take a look at what that actually sounds like.
This one. This is classic left brain subconscious talk. It's a conclusion based completely on past evidence or just plain old fear. It's a total dead end. But now, just look at this shift. This is right brain conscious thinking. See, you're not a victim of the pattern anymore. You're the observer of it. And from that place of awareness, that's where you can choose to change it. This is where all your power is.
Here's another one straight from the subconscious playbook. It's totally rooted in worry and blame, right? It's just projecting past experiences onto the future and basically giving all your power away to other people.
And this is just a brilliant example of the right brain alternative. The focus shifts completely away from seeking approval or trying to avoid discomfort to chasing an internal goal, clarity. It's all about your personal growth, not what anyone else thinks.
So, whenever you're stuck in that left brain loop, you're really just recycling old energy. You're talking about problems, you're blaming other people, you're worrying about what went wrong. It's just an unproductive, backward-looking cycle.
To put it a little more directly,
You talk crap. I know it's a bit harsh, but it's a memorable way to think about it, right? If your thoughts are all focused on blame and gossip and fear, you're not building anything new. You're just wallowing in the old stuff.
Now, what I love about this is seeing the direct comparisons side by side. Every single one of those limiting, left brain thoughts, like I'm not good enough, has a powerful, future-focused, right brain counterpart. I want to design outcomes. See the difference? One is a judgment based on the past, the other is an intention for the future. You get to choose which one you're going to feed that control center.
And making that choice consciously and consistently, well, that's what transforms you from just a creature of habit into the creator of your own life.
this right here is the biggest takeaway. That simple internal shift from reacting based on the past to creating based on your intention, that is everything. In that one moment, you stop being a victim of your history and you start becoming the architect of your destiny.
So, how do you actually put this into practice? It's really a simple 3-step process. Step 1 is to shift. Consciously catch yourself in that left brain talk and choose a right brain thought instead. Then, step 2, delete. Start actively letting go of what no longer serves you. Old habits, limiting beliefs, those past patterns.
And that leads to the third and maybe the most crucial step, making space. Because as this quote says so perfectly, the more you hold on to the past, the less space you leave for your future to grow. You simply can't build something new if your hands are full of old baggage.
So the power is literally in your hands. It's in the thoughts you choose to think, right here, right now. The question isn't whether you can change your future, but rather, what future will you choose to build?